Reports that police will have the power to investigate reports of families breaching coronavirus rules over the Christmas period are, I'm afraid, exaggerated. Don't believe the headlines, but also don't be silly over the Christmas period. With the government easing restrictions over Christmas so that families can meet to enjoy the Christmas period for 5 days, the police have said that they are expecting a number of tip-offs and that the police will adopt a light touch approach to minor breaches, but will still investigate all reports of rule breaking. A senior police source has been quoted as saying, "Officers are going to be encouraged to be pragmatic in their approach to breaches, but of course if someone calls police about their neighbours having 3 rather than 2 households round, you are duty bound to investigate." But the good thing is, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, innies, outies and in-betweeners, that providing you haven't got 10 people hanging out of each of your windows singing pissed up Christmas carols, there's very little the police can actually do, as the coronavirus restrictions do not give police the power of entry to check, which is unfortunately where the people who have opened their doors have gone wrong. Even if the police suspect there's more than the allowed number of people, they cannot break your door down to gain entry, to start fining people, because they are finable offences and not indictable ones. No one's at risk of death or harm, and they are not in the process of chasing the criminal. So, providing you keep your door shut, there's pretty much fuck all the plod can do. However, when you do hear the knock at the door, because one of your lovely neighbours has grassed you up, just make sure you lock your back door too. And no, that's not a euphemism. I mean your actual back door, because the police won't like having their time wasted knocking your door and being ignored, and will try to find an open door to come in through. And while the public are being encouraged to turn on one another, Ken Marsh, the Police Federation chairman, fears that forces will be overwhelmed with tip-offs by the public. So if you are one of those people who like to grass up your neighbours and bootlick, just remember that while the police are overwhelmed with calls to alleged breaches of regulations that are in place because there is such a serious virus that's killing thousands, that the government can relax the restrictions as and when they choose to suit them, but we still have to do what we're told because the government know how serious the virus is, and we dumb members of the public don't. There won't be police available to deal with the muggings, the burglaries, the sexual assaults, the domestic violence, the road traffic collisions and deaths, because you have wasted their fucking time. Ken Marsh went on to say, it won't be easy for officers to identify whether a private house is really breaching regulations, as they will not have the power of entry to inspect premises. It will be a case of being damned if we do or damned if we don't. We are unlikely to take action unless it is straight in your face, like a private party in a hotel or restaurant where hundreds of people are sitting down, or 200 people at a house party. The 5-day Christmas exemption will supersede the tiered restrictions which came in on December the 2nd, which ban households from mixing indoors in tier 2 and 3 areas. The rules allow families to travel across the whole of the UK during this period, regardless of the tier that they live in. So while all the UK governments are bitching at each other about allowing people to cross borders because of the deadly virus and that households can't mix, they've agreed with Mr. COVID to not infect people during the 22nd and 27th of December, so that we can all have some time with our loved ones. And if you still think that this is as bad as being made out, then I'm sorry, but you need to give your head a wobble. How can it be that the worst global pandemic in most people's everyone's lifetime, that's so virulent and deadly, that's closed borders, destroyed economies, stopped people having life-saving surgery, treatment or diagnoses, has meant or has seen rises of depression? We'll see people losing their homes and in some cases already their businesses. But we can ignore the vast majority of the rules for 5 days. Are you getting it yet? Is it sinking in? So before you go grassing up your neighbours, the people that you may have lived next to for years, borrowed their lawnmower, or even offered them a cup of sugar when they or you first moved in, think about it properly and ask yourself, why are we being allowed to do this over Christmas if it's all so bad? Big thank you to channel supporters, especially these guys. Your support is truly appreciated. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, as I know many of you will. And until next time, stay safe, look after each other, film the police and other officials.